This is Leadership Beyond, your community of conversation.
Joining us today is Anatoliy Labinskiy. Anatoliy is an entrepreneur, e-commerce expert, and he's the founder of GSM Growth, an agency that helps e-commerce entrepreneurs achieve a new level of growth in their businesses, and a co-founder of Ecom Scout.io, an AI-powered service that tracks all loss events and advertising campaigns, providing real-time data and insights for informed decision-making and an optimized ad spend. In addition to his entrepreneurial pursuits, Anatoliy hosts the highly acclaimed Ecom Business Stream podcast. The podcast showcases real-life stories from successful entrepreneurs, executives, investors, and thought leaders, offering a glimpse into their journeys to success in the business world. Recognized for his outstanding achievements, Anatoliy is a member of the Forbes Business Council. He also proudly holds a place among the top 100 USA entrepreneurs with Ukrainian origins, underscoring his influence and impact in the dynamic realm of e-commerce. As an international speaker, Anatoliy shares his knowledge and expertise with audiences worldwide, further establishing himself as a leading figure in the e-commerce landscape. If you've been listening to our recent panel discussions on well-being and self-leadership, you'll be well aware that we talk about the importance at the individual, the team, the enterprise, and the societal level of taking care of human beings first and foremost. And in self-leadership, if we don't care for ourselves, we can't care for others. But I'm reminded of the improv world that has a saying, yes, and, instead of yes, but. And there's lots of different ways within that core value of running a culture and running a company. And I was struck by Anatoliy, how he has this mindset of extreme ownership and accountability at every level of his company. He wants an entrepreneurial culture. But as you listen to this interview, you'll know it isn't just driving people into the ground. It is taking responsibility for what we need without dropping the responsibility for the results that we are creating. And we ended by talking about the values that are most important. So you'll see that Anatoliy's mindset aligns nicely with our previous guest, and yet there is a different energy and attitude. So he came to be an entrepreneur because he knew he wanted better for himself and his family. And he had no roadmap. He had only this burning desire to create something and taking responsibility and learning and making mistakes and doing all of the things that you have to do to become successful, which he's done. And he's looking for people to join his team that really want to own their little territory within the bigger territory and communicate as though they were the CEO of their own area of excellence, and connect that, and you have a masterpiece. So it takes a lot of communication, and it takes some people that don't fit in a culture like that, but looking for people who say, yes, I'm hungry for this. I'm not going to start from scratch like Anatoliy did, but I have the skill, and the skill will help the company achieve its goals and mission, and I'm going to own my piece of it. So I'm confident that you'll connect the dots between this and our other interviews, and we'll enjoy the wisdom and the insights from Anatoliy. Welcome, Anatoliy. Good afternoon, Anatoliy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Tom, for having me here. I'm excited for this recording and looking forward to share the value from my personal experience, and hopefully that at least one single person out there will be listening and like, oh, okay, this can I implement on my business. That's my goal usually when I'm like on the podcast shows like yours, and I'm excited because you have an amazing episodes on the back end.
Well, thank you. So let's just begin with a general open-ended question about you and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, sure. So like actually that story could take like couple hours if I'll go in
We'll
details.
do the brief version.
For sure. That's why I'm like saying as a joke, because like why I'm usually sharing for a couple hours, just because to show that everything is possible. I mean, all the struggles which I went through, from broke to with pregnant wife in the renting room, living with other couple in Dubai and trying to survive by paying for the bills, to where I am right now, handling multiple seven figures businesses, real estate, e-commerce, software company, and having more than 35 people on the board, employers who are changing the lives of our clients in e-commerce space. So like we have an agency for last almost 5 years, where we are scaling e-commerce Shopify stores for dropshipping owners, for the brand owners on Shopify platform through Facebook advertising, TikTok, Google, SMS, email marketing, plus investing in real estate in our days, especially in the United States. And software company ComScout, it's a software related to advertising for ecom people. So this is where like I am right now. But I started basically back in Dubai in 2013. I went there. I didn't speak English. I wasn't able to do anything. I was just a food runner who was cleaning dirty plates from the tables and trying to like figure it out what I'm going to be doing in my life, since I have a debt from university. I have a mortgage for my mom's house. I have a loan for the car of my mom. I need to help her. I need to help my sister. I need to help everyone and help myself. And basically, step by step, I was trying to figure it out. And my wife got pregnant in 2017. And this is when everything changed. I promised to myself that my baby won't be grow up in the way how I was living my life. And I promised to myself to find out the solution, and I got e-commerce. And the first year after I started doing e-commerce, I lost everything what we had. My wife almost divorced on me, and like I was embarrassed and broke. But on the second year, I figured it out how it working. Made my first 100K a month, 200K a month, 300K a month, and so on. And basically, yeah, life has changed. Start coaching people by their request, since I was active in social medias. And then in 2020, we moved to the agency part because all my students were asking, can you manage for us? And we create the agency.
So there's a lot in that story about triumph over adversity, about determination. I'm not going to have my children grow up the way I did. But let's just ask, what are 2 or 3 key qualities to entrepreneurial success? And what you're talking about is totally entrepreneurial. You didn't join a company, you created one, and there was no evidence that it would work. You took it on faith and took the leap, and you had to demonstrate it. So it's entrepreneurial. What are some key qualities that you think a leader needs to have if he or she says, I'm going to go from nothing to something?
Yeah, sure. So like as I was saying, that first year wasn't that just working, and I was losing and like borrowing money from my friends, working on 5 different jobs. So why I'm just repeating this thing is just because one of the entrepreneurial stuff is just like go all in terms of not like stupidly, like everyone jumping from the bridge and I'm jumping from the bridge. No, it's about like you have like in that time, e-commerce for me, it was just like aha moment. I realized that I can make money from the laptop by being in any part of the world, and I don't know how, but I will figure it out this direction because I want to live this life. And it's like not just flexibility, but it's as well financial freedom if you make it work. And everyone was saying stopping to you, but if you start the journey and you believe in the process and you know that this is what you want to do till like bottom of your heart, you have just to like, could be direction wrong. So you can switch a bit the direction. Okay, Shopify is wrong. Let's try email marketing, well, let's try something else. But in the main focus direction, by switching a bit angles, you'll find out what's working for you, and you're gonna be succeed in it. Because most of the people quitting on the first steps of fail. Oh my God, I lost $100. I lost that moment, everything what I had. And I wasn't care. I was like, I never had my mind any ideas that I will quit. Even was when my wife was saying, if you won't stop it, I'll divorce you. I said, I don't care. I'm doing that for you and for our son. And I just continue doing that. So it was first part.
All
All
in,
in.
determined. And I like the distinction you made. That doesn't mean like you're going to beat your head against the same wall over and over again. It means you adjust your strategy and your tactics, but you don't go to roofing. You know, if you're an econ, you don't switch careers. You say there's a different way forward. So it has flexibility and determination fused in a forward way. I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
The second,
go ahead.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the second one is just like taking risk. It's like part of like what I was doing. All the entrepreneurs and most successful people are taking the biggest risks ever. If you want to have security, go and work for someone else. And believe me, in one day you will be kicked out from the door. So that security is temporary, not permanently. And by building the future by yourself for yourself, it's where you building yourself actually the security of being okay. But most of the people want just comfort zone. That's fine. Work for someone else. Not everyone able to handle the risk. Not everyone able to be a good entrepreneur, but able to be a great graphic designer, great like copywriter. It doesn't matter. You can be great on something because you don't want to build a business. You want to do what you love. It's fine. But if you want to grow and build a business, take the biggest risks because there are always the biggest rewards. That's for sure. And all the entrepreneurship, so it's only about the risks and overtake and managing the problems. And the third part, have your why. If you're doing that only for money, you will fail. For me, it was like, obviously, I understand that it's something what can build me financially stable life. But my why was to build a better future life for my son and making sure that I will be able to enjoy life with him by having the best possible work in the world, which is laptop with me, and I'm doing whatever I need to do, and I'm with my son in some island, in some traveling, at home, doesn't matter. So for me, was my why, it was my son and the best quality time creating for him and my family. So those three things, like never quit, taking risks, and have your why, not financial why. Financially could be goal, but your why, if it's financial, you'll quit because it's not that strong why, which is usually people are quitting because they're finding out, no, there I can make just a bit less, but at the end it will be guaranteed. People quitting because financial why is not strong enough.
Well, let's move from, we've got your big three there, and you probably could do five, but three is enough for the time that we have. So we got to be all in. Entrepreneurial isn't for the dabbler. And if security is your number one value, entrepreneurial is the wrong route. Do what you love and get paid for it, but just recognize the rug might get pulled from under you. So I would add in all three of those is wanting to have a big part in creating your own future. And so willingness to take risk and knowing your big why. When we had our first conversation pre-podcast, you said something that was intriguing to me. And you talked about, so now we're going from you're teaching people how to make money, coaching it, and then realizing, no, we want to create an agency. We want to, and so now you are having some of those people on your team that aren't entrepreneurs in the same way you are. But what I'm understanding is you're creating an entrepreneurial culture, even though they might only do the graphic parts, they're not overseeing the whole thing, they're doing what they love, but they have a mindset. And the word that you used was extreme ownership. So I'd like you to talk a little bit about what that means and what kind of person would thrive in a culture that has that as a primary value.
Yeah, sure. Sure, that's like a good subject to speak about, because this is exactly what is happening wrong in the world. That majority of the employees who are coming to work for the companies, they are just counting the hours and how much they're making per hour, and they have zero interest in what they are doing in different positions. Even like I'm shocked when I'm flying. Right now I'm in Portugal, but when I'm flying to US, like basically I'm seeing that coming to McDonald's or some Starbucks coffee shop, people before were smiling, were asking, how are you? They were like enjoying, and they were giving your best as a barista or like server. Now they just looking on you straight. They have no emotions. They hate what they're doing. They just know that they are here to make X dollars till end of the day. And they don't care about the service, about the standards of the company. And that's what's really happening now, even in the office work. Extreme ownership, it's what's holding people to be accountable to what their duties are. And it can be done only with the people who are goals oriented, who are once humble, hungry, and wants to achieve like more in life. And it is actually who I was at the beginning. And I was hiring people from my student list. Like I had like students who I was coaching, people who were not succeed in the mastermind because they had lack of budget to scale or whatever. But I knew that those guys are like hard workers. Those guys the same like me. And I was offering to those people like, hey, I'm opening the agency. Would you like? I will continue coaching you for free, and you will be making money on the top of that. And basically, I was hiring only the people who are goals oriented and excited and feeling obsessed about what they're gonna be doing with their work, with their duties. And the thing is, like about extreme ownership, it doesn't matter when. Like you have a time frame by end of the day, let's say. It doesn't matter where you're gonna be at that moment, when exactly you're gonna be doing. But if you have timeline, let's say by end of the day, it's supposed to be done. So my team has no schedule. We are more than 30 people in the team. We are working on remote for almost 5 years, and the team is traveling Mexico, Dubai, United States, Europe. They just like in different parts of the world all the time. And the thing is, tasks has to be done. Basically, they are entrepreneurs of their own life. This is what I'm coaching them when I'm managing them, when I was building the company. I want you feel that you are using the GSM agency as a tool to achieve your own results and own goals. How to do that? By bringing the results. So my goal to bring results for you, because if you achieve your goals, I'm going to be achieving mine, because GSM will succeed by itself. So by serving our clients well, by making results for the clients, you're going to be having higher income. And basically, if they are not delivering, they won't make money. So everything on win-win base, we didn't have before the basics. Now we have some basics on particular roles, but even those basics are low, because majority of cash what people are making in the company is from the bonuses and the percentage of what has been done. So extreme ownerships, its work has to be done in any way, and you are individual entrepreneur of your department. If you're graphic designer, if you're media buyer, if you're salesperson, like if people doesn't want to make money or achieve the professional and personal growth, it's not the place for them to work on. So they are obsessed about every single duty what they are doing. It's hard to find such kind of people, but when you catch them, it's going to be the strongest and the best team ever.
Yeah. So how do you reinforce that with everybody flying all over the world and so many moving parts? Is it just you come to trust them, or how do you? Is there any way as far as management that you reinforce that, or notice if it's missing soon before it's a disaster?
It's a good question, because it was learned through the hard way. I mean, we are not like, like a lot of VAs, companies who are using VAs in Philippines or somewhere else, they're using like screen recording and so on. For some positions, it's actually applicable, but still, like, I don't prefer like being behind the shoulder of someone and looking behind like,
You don't
hey,
want to
what are you doing?
micromanage. That goes against the entrepreneurial culture, but you do need to keep your eye on it. So how do you
Exactly.
balance the tension between those two intentions?
So we have necessary weekly, some departments couple of times a week, some departments once a week. Me, I have like weekly calls from with each individual department, and like general with all the management one time a week. And basically we have KPIs, Excel sheets, CRM system, where we see every single metric which has been done or haven't been done during the day. So basically, before we were blind, and the first couple of years we were just scaling, we were just super fast. We were super fast moving with the performance and the clients base and all that stuff. So I wasn't even looking on like what those guys doing, my team. They just doing. And it was wrong because we were 45, we grow to 45 team members in 2 years, but now we are 35. So why it happened? Because we introduced on the board our CFO, who made the financial matrix, who made all the KPIs in place, and showed me what people, by using the previous data, he showed me that like around 10 people are useless. I mean, they're not doing what they're supposed to, but because we're growing so fast, I was ignoring any kind of problems because we're moving, profitable, clients are great, everything's good. But at the end, very important, on remote, you must have the strong KPIs which they have to follow, and you must have even stronger tracker system. So basically, every morning you can wake up, turn on the CRM or Excel sheet or whatever you have on your end, and see what was actually yesterday done. If you see that someone goes down by performance, everyone has like media buying management. They have top leaders, and then after that media buyers and like their assistants and so on. So basically manager job, he's looking on KPIs and like, hey man, what's happening? It's fine. And he's looking on last 3 days, he's really down in performance. No, seriously, what's going on? And basically we are care about our team that like they jumping on the call, they finding out the problem and like, hey, I broke up with girlfriend, or my grandma just died. Like it, unfortunately, it's life. I mean, something happened, but they don't want to speak about that. But management part, since I was coaching them on the way how I want they treat people, I want them care about the team, and they caring about the team members, and they calling them, they double check what's going on, they find out the problem, and they find out the solution, how they can manage that. Another media buyer can cover him, or maybe there is nothing that bad. He needs just to speak with him for a couple hours that broke up. It could happen. Your life will be even better now. You will meet another person. So they becoming their like not just leaders, but actually mentors and like respected person. And the team working not just in listening managers, not because they must, but because they feel that someone actually cares about them. And I'm in Ukraine, and that guy right now in Bulgaria or California, for example, and he's calling me and like asking me and like trying to calm me down. It's met like sometimes money is money, which is obviously it's a point why everyone are working, but working in the right culture team where you feel that someone cares about you, even doesn't see you on daily basis, it's worth more than money. And basically following KPI, we can see the triggers if something going wrong. We can see the triggers if something going super great. So we put extra attention there, what we can do like to speed up. We catch up the process, so we need to scale. And if something is going just smooth, and all these weekly calls helping us to discuss, analyze, and if we see some problem, manager giving me feedback, I like, okay, so call him, try to speak with him, let's figure it out. Like we just, my mentor was always saying, I'm a papa master, which is for me funny calling description, but at the end, yeah, you're just a puppet master who are just moving the figures in the way how they have to move, and by that they are improving their performance. They respect your approach, and they feel obligation to deliver, because like they don't want to freaking you up in terms of like lose the client because of being lazy or whatever. They feel responsibilities.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is to have care that extreme ownership doesn't dehumanize us. But when there are human issues, which happen only to 100% of us, that we are sensitive, but we don't stop having an attitude of ownership. And we might need to adjust what we're doing, but we're going to keep that accountability. I like that. And there is a tension between the two, but you can manage the tension. Which, when we talk about dehumanizing, that naturally brings us to how is AI impacting your world?
Uh, just recently, I was discussed that with mentor a few days ago. I'm like, from one part, I was like, oh, I'm so excited about AI and so on. And from another part, we start speaking about like how dangerous it could be for human being, that we could become really stupid, we could become lazy, we could be lost on the simple subjects in like matter of 5-10 years, because we will be so used to with the AI. So without AI, we will be hard to like deal with anything. But from another side, we using AI quite a bit in the company, and now from this year, like even from last couple of months, we implemented even creatives creation. Like we can create now with AI video creatives. So before the process, we taking the product, sending to the creative team in somewhere in United States or somewhere else, and basically they have to record it, edit it, send it us back, make the revision, send it us back, time, money, like, and clients misunderstanding why a process is so long. Like all those processes are quite long, and it's old way how we were doing, how all the world was doing, and it was still good enough to be compared to 1990s. Now you have pictures of the products, a couple of videos of the products, you put it in the AI system, and it generates for you incredible customized real video with that product. It's just like, it's insane. And that thing is saving so much time on testing, and then only proven angle, you can send it now product to the creative department in some part of the world, and they will be working on that angle, which already proved, pre-tested with AI. So it's a speed up a lot on the advertising system. Plus the tracking, like Ecom Scout, it's AI driven platform, which is like tracking well the advertising platforms, and plus generating the ad copies in 2 clicks, which is like before we need to hire copywriter to like do those ad copies. Now in 1 click, you can just get the copies, in 2nd click, copy those copies and launching the ads with those copies. So like AI, it's a speed up, and it could be dangerous, someone would say, but if you want adapt to those changes, AI will be not replace you, but will replace your job responsibilities. So if you adapt, you're gonna be responsible person who gonna be handling and managing the AI system. So basically, before it was like people who were just making the maintenance for the typing machines. After that, PC came. People would adjust their knowledge from the typing machines maintenance to the PC maintenance. And after that, IT people came who start building the apps. So basically, the same worker was just adjusting his skills by time of technologies were growing. So right now you're like just on the factory cutting the metal, or you are maybe a graphic designer, or you're a copywriter, or you someone else use the AIs to become on steroid professional worker that nobody will able to exchange you. Because if you utilize your AI in the way like nobody able to do, you're gonna be high paid employer. Because AI, it's not just like AI. Someone's supposed to manage, someone's supposed to give the right tasks, someone's supposed to handle the processes.
Mhm.
So that's why I
So
utilize
it's
that.
not surprising and still interesting that it's the same mindset. It's the entrepreneurial mindset. AI is here. Doesn't matter you like it, you don't like it, whatever you think about it, it is here. So your why says, how can I use this reality to create the better future I am for my son? And for your team, how can we use this to beat the competition, to be even better, to make more money, to serve more clients? But if you have a security mindset and a narrow mindset, you go, I move this from point A to point B, and I do this every day. AI is going to do it, therefore I'm no longer relevant. So it's the mindset that creates the instability, because it brings us back to your core principle is we don't get paid for the hour, we get paid for the value we bring. And
Exactly.
if we can leverage AI to bring more value, we're going to be just fine. But if we think in terms of our value is just functional, somebody else is going to do the function, whether it's a man or a machine.
100%. Already like over 4 million in United States, 4 million people lost their job because of AI in the last year. And it's not to make you scared, but it's about to let you think, like, what can I do now to implement the AI in my profession, that if someone will do like to replace me, they won't be able, because I'm the best person who knows how to manage that AI.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still going to be a painful transition. And a lot of people aren't going to be able to adapt. So we have to be mindful.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But anybody who says, well, I just don't like it, you might as well bury your head in the sand, because that ship is launched and it's changing every day. So this would be a good point to just say what you would like to lead. Our podcast is called A Leadership Beyond, and the word lead means to go beyond. And in your story, you started by saying, I'm here washing dishes, and you go beyond first in your imagination, and then you demonstrate it by your action, and then you take everything as feedback, and you keep on going, and that's allowed you to accomplish. So just as well as you encapsulated your 3 leadership qualities, what 3 encouragers will you give leaders and aspiring leaders to adapt to this crazy new world that we're all living in?
Never stop learning. Never. I mean, especially if you are on management position, always learn new things, and especially related to your industry, because industry is changing so fast that sometimes I'm scared like that I'm behind. I mean, I'm every day scared that I'm behind. But that's one thing. Never stop learning. Take care of your team. I mean, if you won't show your team that you care, someone else shows them that, and they will leave you even you have the biggest paychecks for them than competitors. Because right now it's all about the human talents. Like, the company cannot grow without the team, without the right team. I'm not the best. The best is the team. Without them, I won't be where I am today. It's fact. So treat your team in the way that you wish someone would treat you. That's like number one thing, and doesn't matter you're in the office or you are in the remote, because people cares about people and they want to work with you. It's the second point. And the third point about the management, I would say definitely, like, when you are taking care of the team, you need to see if there is anyone on the board who don't deserve that to be with you. By that being said, you have to track you must have KPIs and track all the performance of your team, not to beat their ass that like I want to catch you. No. To make sure that you can bring them to the next level by seeing the clear picture. And if someone deserves to get ass beaten, that's another part. But you are not trying to catch anyone online. You want to get them on next level. And who will be catched online? He's just not the part of your team. So by that being said, just follow KPIs as a third part, and you'll see the success. Definitely. In my company, it was huge adjustments when we implemented.
Well, I really appreciate you investing the time, and we're going to put your contact information in the show notes, and anything else that you would like the audience. You do some speaking too, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I was speaking in Germany, Chicago, Valencia, Spain, London, England. Like, yeah, I'm speaking internationally, usually about advertising or leadership.
Well, we're going to put that in the show notes, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Tom, for having me here.
See you next time.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership Beyond podcast. We hope you benefited from this conversation as much as we have. We invite you to join our community of conversation. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to sign up at aleadershipbeyond.com for free materials and updates. That's aleadershipbeyond.com. Join us in 2 weeks for our next episode.